Here we are. We Rock Podcast, another episode. We know what number it is?
Probably we do not. Today. We do.
You do? You looked it up?
Yep, I did. It's 47.
Why is that number significant?
I don't know. I mean, we were stumped on this when we talked about 45, that had some sort of significance to it.
I think it trumps me. I'm not really sure what that number has to do with anything, but here we are, 47. Everybody, all the tens of listeners and people that still tune in to hear our run our mouths about stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm. And so, may God have mercy on their souls.
So today we got a guest. We got Nate Gingrich at Gingrich Memorials up in Middletown, Pennsylvania. What's going on, Nate?
Hey, how are you guys? Thanks for having me.
I can't complain, man. We're the weather is a lot more balmy here than it is there. So I'm wearing a t-shirt and walking around without a jacket today. So I don't know if you can say the same.
It is a windy day up here in Pennsylvania, but it's not overly cold. So
it's crazy what the weather's doing this December. Like, my kids are considering maybe swimming on Christmas Day.
Yeah. That's not happening here.
They going in the river?
No, just in my parents' pool next door.
Oh,
a lot of people ask me. They said, "Well, why don't you put in a pool?" My parents have one.
Why pay the money whenever it's next door?
Yep.
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let them take care of the maintenance and all that.
People say I can't make wise financial decisions.
I've seen you buy certain things. It depends on the financial decision that we're discussing at the moment.
The best one I saw was a reel that I saw yesterday, and it said the phrase, "It's only money," has cost me a lot of money throughout my life.
I did see a video this morning. I don't know if I sent it to you or not. It was this lady selling off all of her husband's stuff who passed away. It was his 67 Shelby, the supercharger off of it, a side-by-side. The side-by-side was $200 and all this, and the Shelby was $1,000. And, well, man, can I ask why you're getting rid of it? Well, that's just what he told me that he paid for it.
Mm-hmm. I do know of some gun stores that will, for like an extra $20, will print you a receipt for, like, to show to the wife.
Man, I bet you they make a lot of extra $20.
Yep.
Oh man! So Nate, we got you on. We're going to talk about the Mid-Atlantic Convention coming up.
Yeah.
Right around the corner. Actually, while we're actually on the show, because I realized this, I still hadn't bought my plane ticket, so I've got to do that. But I've got it all set up in there. Like, I've been pulled away from a bunch of different things, but so we've got it. Looks like it's. I've got my plane ticket to arrive on the 14th, but it's really the 15th, correct?
It is.
Through the 17th.
Yep. So 26 days away, according to the countdown on the website. It's January 15th, 16th, and 17th in Baltimore. So Thursday the 15th starts with just with all of our educational seminars. I can go into detail about those, but we do that on Thursday, and then the exhibit hall is open then on Friday and Saturday. We do that to maximize the time that the attendees get to spend with the exhibitors. The exhibitors spend a lot of money.
Yeah, I really like that setup. Yeah. That's a great setup because it doesn't walk on the toes of the vendors who are really spending a lot of money to be there and support you and all that. You get your education in, which makes it valuable for those who are bringing their staff and all of that stuff as well.
Right.
But you're not competing against each other, so you don't end up with suppliers standing around twiddling their thumbs in the showroom.
Yeah, yep. And we, and I think that's something that we've always done. But I know it seems like, we obviously attend other shows and go around the country in different places and see. We always like to see what we can learn and from a monument standpoint, but then also just from running a convention and try to see what works the best and that seems to be one of the things that I feel like has always stood out with our show is that we are not trying to directly compete with the time on the exhibit because the educational programs are great and people do I think they have a lot of value for attendees going to them. But I think at the end of the day, more people come to walk around the exhibit hall and to talk to the vendors that are there than anything else.
Well, I mean, that's pretty obvious even when you go to a lot of these conventions. You don't see nearly as many people in the education room as you do walking around or, at the pool for that matter, depending upon what time of year you're doing your convention. So for some reason, there's always people at the bar. There's not always people in the display room. I hadn't figured
that does happen. That does happen. Yeah, especially with our crowd, right?
Yeah, but it's like, but what we got? I think you said 63 exhibitors or something like that. Is that right?
I think we are at, so the booth space is all sold out. So it's 134 booths. But we have 68 different different manufacturers coming, or suppliers and manufacturers. I believe we're somewhere around 30 granite suppliers, which is, for once, I believe it was split evenly between importers and domestic manufacturers, which was great to see. A good split. It doesn't seem like it's all one way or the other. So I think that there should be something for everyone.
Man, that's great. I know I've talked to a few folks that are going to be up there, that whether it's picture companies or other odds and ends, different suppliers that are going to be up there. They're all. When suppliers are excited, that's a good sign. It's not. The monument guys, the retailers, we get excited because we get to go see our friends and hang out and do all that other kind of fun stuff. But when the suppliers get excited, it's always a good sign of a good convention coming up and a show that's well organized. So, I've talked to a few people; they're pretty pumped. So it's going to be a good show.
Oh yeah, and
we're. Go ahead, Austin. No, I was just saying, we're excited. It's one of those things where, we all have real jobs and we do. We put in a lot of time and effort into the show, and it's nice to see that as a kind of come to fruition with the show.
Mm-hmm. It's great. It's great to hear what the turnout's going to be, especially whenever there is a good little bit of word going around, people questioning whether or not conventions are still worth it. Mm-hmm. And whenever you can sell out all of your booth space, that's great.
We've heard that for a while. We've heard it with ours, with SMBA and different folks, and they say the same thing. And it's like, oh, well, it's in. And I'm like, guys, you don't understand that the conventions are a multi-billion-dollar a year industry. Tens of billions of dollars go through conventions, and they bolster different cities' hotel revenue. And so all of that stuff goes. They're not going away. It's just a matter of, are you attending or not? Now, it's still our responsibility for those of us who are running these different conventions to make them valuable to those who are going to attend, both on the supplier side or the vendor side, as well as those who are attending. So it's but it looks like it's going to be a great one. I've heard a lot of great things. People coming excited. Y'all tend to do it in the same spot every year. Is that right?
Yeah, I think we are. So the hotel that we're at right now, I think this is, I believe the hotel was built in 2001, and we've been, when we toured the hotel to do our first show there, they were still building it. We had been at a Marriott in Baltimore for 15, 20 years before that, but we kind of outgrew it, and this was a bigger space, and that's why we moved to this.
Yeah,
so, and Austin, things like. Yeah, no, go ahead.
It's Austin. It's right there on the bay, but it's within a mile of Camden Yards. So it will be an icy mile. I don't know. I doubt it's uphill because it's all on right there on the harbor. But it's we can slide across some of those bridges, I think, and get there.
Right.
Yep. And you can look across the harbor and see Camden Yards.
Now knowing its proximity to Camden Yards, my only suggestion to y'all would be, how about you move your convention to the summertime?
Yeah. Well, so up here where the weather matters, we've always, we always use January as a time where typically, and since the origination of our organization from the Mid-Atlantic area, that we all kind of slow down in the winter. So it's time where historically the people are a little slower.
You say that, but I got a message from a friend of mine up there in northern New York who sent me a picture yesterday of them trying to pull a frozen monument out of the hole that they had to dig for the burial. So apparently the gravedigger dug the hole too big and it actually slipped down, but it overnight froze to the wall of the grave. And there's a video of them using the crane trying to free the daggum monument up from the hole. So
that's not great.
Doesn't sound like a good day either.
No, not at all. So that was the original thought, I believe, for the January. I mean, there's always a risk, with a little bit of snow and things, but all in all, we've been very, very fortunate, and being Baltimore and with the the harbor there and things, you do get I think, kind of limit some of the snowfall. And Baltimore's nice because I mean, you got an easy access in on the airport. You got a major airport right there. So
yeah. Well, and it's going to be, I mean, and this is open to everybody, correct? I mean, it's not, of course, it's mid-Atlantic, but it's open to everybody, and it is a full display show. So there's going to be there may not be it's third floor is what we talked about earlier, right? It's on the third floor. So don't expect a full walk-in mausoleum.
No.
Or a 8,000-pound floating sphere. That's not happening either.
Right. So that is one of the unique things about our show. So like you said, we have no membership, so we have and everyone is welcome. From the retailer standpoint, more the merrier. We typically get people from all over the country that
exception Jason Campbell, you may not be welcome to show up there, and we're not really sure.
What's its proximity to a school?
But so anyway, our show's up on the third floor. The ballroom is on the third floor. So we bring all the freight trucks in, and everything has to be set up by hand truck. So no forklifts on the floor. So we do limit the size a little bit. We allow all of the displayers per their booth to bring like 1 4-foot monument. That way. They can bring other monuments, and things, but to say, 1 4-foot on a 5-foot base, and that way we don't have it's a hard day setup. That Thursday, we're in the ballroom from 6:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. just hand trucking granite. So if every job that we had to move in the hand truck was 5-foot base, it would be an even longer day.
Are the guys from One Trip Dolly going to be there?
They are.
That would be an excellent point for them to prove their product to everybody.
We may have mentioned that to them. Yes.
He called me yesterday, and he was like, who do I send? I want to send these up there, and I was like, well, let me give you a couple of numbers, and you can talk to them. But you better make sure the batteries are charged, because that would go really bad if it didn't work.
Yeah. No, it is. So I mean, a couple of us. I mean, some of the different board members and stuff. Our crews come down and do setup, and we try to get as many people to come, and we get other sometimes dealers from all around. A couple of guys from New York will come down sometimes and help set up, which is always a great help too. So if you want to pop in on
Tuesday, is that right?
What's that?
Y'all do the setup on Wednesday?
No. So Wednesday we'll tape off the ballroom, make sure it's ready, and then Thursday morning is when we start.
Okay. So if I'm flying in Wednesday, man, I'm not going to have anything to do Thursday. May as well go ahead and do all that too.
Yeah, you can. You're more than welcome. Just shoot me a text when you get in on Wednesday, and we'll set you up. But I think we are looking forward to it. I mean, as I said, it feels like this, since we do our show every other year, this one feels back to the way we were pre-COVID. From a show standpoint. Obviously the last two shows were a little bit lesser. I mean, obviously the 22 one, that was still kind of coming out of it and things. So everything was a little bit more. Lesser attended and all that. So, but I mean, we have we have a lot of support from our longtime exhibitors, I guess.
Yeah.
So I know,
Well, so who else is going to be there? Well, you've got some suppliers that are showing up, and so you said you got a bunch of different granite suppliers, but I don't know who else coming.
Yep. So I mean, I'll start first by just listing our sponsors, because I would be remiss if I did not thank them. So we have our event sponsors, we have a welcome reception that is sponsored by BGA, and then our happy hour is sponsored by EGA, which the two organizations have done, I don't know, longer than I've been alive. So
Yeah.
as long
No,
as
they
I've
do
been
the
going to
same thing.
conventions, they've both been doing those things.
Yeah, they do the same thing down here, and man, they always put on a good show and really make everybody feel welcome and kind of start off the thing. So that's good.
Absolutely. So AP Laser is our lunch sponsor, which is great. We appreciate
Yep.
that. They are also a gold sponsor, but
Do we get to see Tong? Is Tong going to be there?
I don't know. I have not looked at
Oh,
a list. So
we have to find that out. So.
it could be. But our platinum sponsors, just going down the list, this is alphabetically. So we have Adams Granite, Atterbury, Angel Stones, Buterin Girardi, Miles Supply, Paradise Pictures, Pepin Granite, Precious Souvenir, Rock of Ages, Wholesale Importer, the Techstone, U-Blast, and that is it for our exhibitors. Our gold sponsors, like I mentioned, are Granite City Tool out of Vermont and AP Laser. And then our silver sponsors are B&B, Monumental Engravers, Cold Spring, Granite Sales and Supply, HGH, Matthews, Monucad, Nomura Trading, Newstone, Porcelains Unlimited, Spruce Mountain Granite, Stone Futures, Strassecker Bronze, Tritium Columbariums, Triguard, and U.S. Metalcraft.
And y'all got like the who's who of the who's who of Barry there too.
Yep.
And some great folks.
Yeah, that's one thing that I'm looking forward to, especially being from the South, is getting to get the opportunity to get to know some of the Barry crowd, because for just like anybody else through the South, most of us associate with Elberton.
Sure.
It's great. It's great to meet those folks, and because especially some of the big names that come out of there, such as like Rock of Ages, ones that have been a staple in the industry.
Mark Girardi being there, Mark's awesome. Love Mark and his crew. They're phenomenal. I mean, you got the Pepin guys are great. Man, and that I'm actually, because if I remind me, I'm pretty sure it was Pepin's shop that the kids took over, and then it flooded in there. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep.
And man, you want to talk about some people that picked themselves up and rocked it out from a disaster to clean up and get back on their feet, man. That such a great group of people to turn that place and get it back on track. So, man, you've got a great crowd coming out there.
Yeah, no, we really do. And then, I mean, I can go down the list quick here. I mean, if you want, the other people who are coming, and we have Alvidi Creations, Anchor Stencil, Anthony Mills Jr. Trucking, Audio Biography, Dakota, Dixie Granite, Eternally Remembered, Excel, Granite Memorial and Lasers, Hirons, Interglow, Joe's Custom, Keystone, King, L&M, Majestic, Pro Build, Memorial Designer, Modern Stonesville, MB&A will have their booth there. MonuWorks, One Trip Dolly we mentioned, Phoenix Memorial Portraits, Photo Porcelain Dominic, PS Granite, PSM, Pyramid Materials, Salem Stone, Southern Granite, Southpaw Imaging, Stone Spot, Sunshine Consortium, Tile Artisans, Vitech, Wensco, and WTC. So if you can't find somebody at our show, then you're not looking for it.
You're spending your time at the bar at that point. Yeah,
well, we may do that too.
There's a number of those guys though too that, like, I talked to the guys over at MonuWorks and they weren't sure that there was a booth because I know they registered late, and so I mean, but they're still coming. They're anxious to be there, and they've got a great product. Y'all got a lot of really good folks that are going to be there, so it's going to be a great show. It's not that they're in bad, any of them are bad, but I mean, the number of those relationships that I've built over the years with a lot of those people has been incredible, and they've all helped me get where we are. So, man, it's worth showing up. And I think the deadline for the early bird is coming up on the 31st. Is that right?
Yeah. So the early bird registration ends on the 31st of December, and I believe the hotel, the room rate at the hotel ends January 1st. So preferably, the December 31st, but definitely want to, pre-register. I mean, it doesn't, and there's day pass and full registration options. The day passes, you don't get anything else. The receptions, or there's no food, the
And I'll say,
receptions
look,
or lunch or anything.
if you're going to sit on your hands and register late, they'll still take your money, but they're going to take a lot more of it. So if you're frugal and you think you're going to save something, you may as well do it now. So
right. Well, it helps a little bit with planning, trying to figure out who all's going to be at the lunch, receptions, things like that. But we always try to hold those numbers as long as we can until we figure out who actually is coming and who isn't.
If you register late, you may not get any food, so just suck it up and do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, there's a hot dog vendor outside somewhere.
Guarantee it. Yeah, no, and I mean, you can come and register at the door if you want, but like I said, it is definitely appreciated if you register ahead of time.
Yeah, exactly. And what are the educations that you got going on over there?
All right, so we have 3 education seminars on that Thursday. So the first one is Ray Leach from Cold Spring is doing a session. It's embracing the customer experience and storytelling to build trust, loyalty, and growth. So it's kind of a combination of a couple of the Cold Spring presentations that they've developed over the years, and seemed, he and I talked about it for a while. I mean, well, me and the other guys on the board too, and seems like that's going to be a really good, good positive education. Next one is so Paychex is coming to the show. They'll have a booth there. I don't know. I mean, everybody uses probably some sort of payroll thing, but they're doing a session on an open discussion on AI tools and compliance, seeing how some of the different tools and things can be used throughout, all of us as small businesses and different types of.
Wait a minute! I thought we were told that AI was the devil when it came to the monument industry recently. Didn't I see that somewhere?
I believe that's only designing them.
Oh, it's only designing.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
And then.
Did you not catch that one, Austin? You didn't read that?
No, I caught it, but of course my mind goes squirrel. And because before we started recording, we talked about some of the conversations you hear, and what font is this? Has anybody tried taking a picture of it and putting it in ChatGPT? What font is this?
Yeah,
I feel like sometimes that could be an entire educational session at a convention. Just solely that.
Or
I guess more to be a little more pointed. What I'm saying is, please start doing that rather than.
I always had a problem posting a question publicly to 1,000 different people and different opinions before, approaching a supplier privately and quiet, so I didn't look like a moron. I think, Austin, you said it the other day. It's just like it doesn't. I can be both, two things at once. I can be highly intelligent and both a moron, depending upon the subject we're talking about at that moment. Mm-hmm. So,
or one that I saw the other day or yesterday that said, I'm an adult in the same way that a tomato is a fruit.
So no, there's got to be the AI discussion is going to be really good when it comes to some of these other things that we're not using them for. I used AI recently to write up lease agreements for the property, and then add to that I had it kind of build up some other little contracts and things like that within our shop. So. It's not just for design. Heck, I'm really bad about, I can do this and have these conversations, but if I've got to go and record the voicemail message for while we're closed, that's a problem because it will take me 15 times.
I was going to say, I'm the same. Yeah. I was hoping that you were the same way, that I'll start to record it and I will have it scripted in my mind.
Yeah, I think everybody does that though.
So we closed today, right? We closed today after lunch, and everybody's gone now to the 5th. But I waited until everybody was gone to go record the outgoing message because I knew if I had an audience, it was going to make it worse. And so, but this time I got onto ChatGPT and had it type it up so that I had something to go off of to read that made sense. Now I made some minor edits, but it was ready to go and short. So
call back later. We're close. Right. Merry Christmas.
I am here, sucker.
Yeah, but no, and I agree, because I think there's so many options, and I think things with AI that we all can use, on a daily basis, that, I mean, is it directly related onto the granite?
Yep.
Probably not, but
No,
there
I
are
mean,
definitely little
but
things that we can use to help run our
yeah.
business. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. One of the downsides, my brother and I were talking about the fact that, we're on the board, and that Thursday is the setup day. So, those of us that we're there setting up, and making sure everything's going smoothly. So we have a tendency to miss the educational, sessions, but hopefully it's great for everyone else. And then the third session is Cameron Moore is doing best practices in memorial design, talking about, I don't, and then after that he's going to do there'll be memorial designer user group afterwards. So that's not part of the.
He's pretty good about making sure there's a user group for the conventions he goes to, and that way, if you're already a memorial designer user, and you're stuck on something, he'll make sure that you figure out exactly how to get to whatever it is. Right. Of course, I routinely harass him every time I see him, and why is this button not do this? And it's really just for the sake of giving him something to complain about later. So if you're not harassing Cameron, you're not really doing what you need to do.
All right. But yeah. So anyway, those are the sessions. There may be some other user group kind of pop up kind of things that may or may not happen. But we're just trying to find space and talk to some people. But
and as always, we of course we'll be there. We're going to have a booth set up, and I got to reach back out to the hat lady, because she messaged me today. But we'll have hats and beanies that we're going to be selling and all that. But I mean, I think Austin's working on some other paraphernalia we're going to give away and whatnot. But it's we're going to be there recording live. We're going to record during the happy hour stuff, and at the hospitality room or bar or whatever that ends up being, and just kind of chilling out and having those conversations. Because really, like we've said forever, education is important, and there is great education that is the one-on-one time. That's we kind of often talk about it being at the bar, because it's where people tend to gravitate. But it's not necessarily that it's there. It can be in the hallways, and it's all those other little one-on-one run-into things outside in the foyer before you go into the display room, that you have these conversations with folks. So we're going to kind of have a Q&A set up that we want to do during the display time. So people come by, talk to us, have a conversation, and just kind of have that kind of that one-off. And look, again, not always the expert. Sometimes I am, sometimes not. But if nothing else, the conversations can help spark ideas for other things. So we're excited about it, and being able to have meet some folks up that way. And I don't know that we've ever had a bad time going north, other than we constantly seem to have to deal with all that white stuff on the ground whenever we go. So
hopefully not this time.
So we'll see how this goes. But man, I'm excited. This is going to be a lot of fun, and there's a lot. There's a lot of, looks like, really good food around that area where we're going to be.
Yeah, lots of good food. Lots of good food.
Yeah. My understanding is that the food of choice in Baltimore is crab. Is that correct?
It's definitely Maryland and crab is definitely a thing.
Yeah. No, I like crab quite a bit. If it was lobster, I'd tend to harass Paul DiMatteo. I don't know if you know Paul, but
well, I do know Paul. Yeah.
And when we were in Maine, it was, you got to try the lobster. Yeah. I think I hurt his feelings when he asked me how I felt about it, and I told him that crawfish was better. But
it's just a baby version.
Yeah. It's miniature. It has more seasoning per ounce per inch. So it was
right.
No, I mean, love me some good seafood. I grew up on the Gulf Coast, so it's different seafood from different places is always great.
There's great restaurants right around the hotel. I mean, a lot of them, depending on weather, walking distance, or a short Uber or taxi. There's a Little Italy, which is right down the road, and there's I don't know, a dozen great restaurants right in there. So
Austin, there is literally around the corner. So that the hotel is on, it looks like it's on what's called Alice Anna Street or something like that. But
Yep.
with just around the corner, there's a road called Eastern Avenue. And there is a little Mexican restaurant called Picante Taco. You down?
Have us go do a review of a Mexican restaurant in the north. Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure how far away we are from Mexico at that point in time, but look, people migrate.
It's a few miles.
Yeah. It seems a bit hard to go that far and have Mexican food and not just eat seafood the whole time. So we'll see how this goes. I'm excited.
It's probably going to be awkward enough that I'm going to tell my wife that I'm looking forward to going to Baltimore to get crabs. But
just don't bring them back.
Right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, they don't travel.
No. So no, it'll be good. We're excited to be up there, and it's going to be a really great show. So if you haven't checked it out, you know, get your flights in, schedule to go. Mr. All Hands, you're going to have to sign up because you ain't got anything else going on. We'll get you going. But no, we're excited to be up there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. No, it's going to be a great time, and we're looking forward to you guys being there, but everybody being there because you mentioned too the biggest thing I think, I mean, we are a unique industry, right? You don't just go down to you hang out with your friends. Most of them don't really know what we do and what we talk about. So this is time to kind of, I don't know, we might with like-minded people.
We may be the only industry where when we tell people what we do for a living, one of the responses that's fairly common is, "Oh, I don't need you." So
yeah,
it's I can't think of other industries. It's not that there isn't one, but solar panels may be one. That may be the other. Other than that, it's us and solar panels, and so no. I'm excited. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But
yeah,
in other things going on, stuff that's pretty exciting is Austin. I'll talk to you about this a little bit. Tanner has posted from Porcelains Unlimited his new setup of what he's got going on to back his NFC tags.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
Is something I've been complaining about for a while because the QR code stuff and the NFC tags, all of that stuff, the digital online memorialization is there, but there's nothing to back it up, right? So this all stems from us here in Texas having with final dates. We're required to take that money and put the money into a trust if we're selling a pre-need final date to guarantee that if we go out of business, that customer's money is still guaranteed to go towards that particular service.
Correct.
So the realization that I'm going to sell a QR code or I'm going to sell an NFC tag to a family, and it could be 10 years, or what's more likely is we don't know, we sell it to them and 2 months down the road, that company folds up and we didn't know when we sold it that was going to happen. And we're getting phone calls. Why doesn't my tag work? It is a big potential of an issue.
And that family's not going to care if that company went out of business or not.
No, because you're the one that sold it to them, and you're the reason why it went out of business. And so the what's cool about this thing is that now he's got this stuff built up into a trust, and in that trust, it will back his online memorialization, so that when you sell that to the customer, it's guaranteed that it will continue to stay on their server, and in perpetuity. It doesn't matter how old Tanner gets, or if he dies in a boating accident, or if he does something really dumb like lighting giant firecrackers on in his hand and kills himself.
Well, just put it this way: he lives in Florida.
He's absolutely Florida man, raising two little Florida men to follow. So he's absolutely that guy. And I think that what he's built there to guarantee that that will continue on and be relevant is phenomenal. And he's talked to me about some of the other things that it can possibly do and whatnot. And I'll let him kind of figure out when he wants to reveal other things that it can be used for. But for right now, just this alone, being able to back up what he's got as a trust makes this super valuable. And I really think that these other companies doing the QR codes and stuff like that should really kind of find their way into this thing as well.
Yes.
So it's I think having that guarantee for those families is going to be worth its weight in gold. Really for you as the monument company, because the last thing you want is that family going, what happened? Why didn't it scan anymore?
Oh yeah, it's bad enough. And of course, I hadn't been in business long enough for some of the old colors of granite that used to be quarried that have now gone extinct. But it's bad enough whenever people come to you and they say, we want a headstone to look just like Mom's, and they show you and it's sienna pink. And it's bad enough when we can't match the granite, but if the products that we're selling to customers, such as like the QR codes, if the website that is supposed to be backing it just all of a sudden disappears one day, I mean, to put it in a real world view, it'd be like you just using a paper system and having no backups whatsoever. And if the filing cabinet burns down, what do you have?
Yeah, I think in the end, you're still going to get those phone calls, but in this situation, they're not going to be about them not actually being there. It'll be because whoever has the phone doesn't know how to turn on the thing to make the new phone make it work. And I would rather that than all of a sudden whatever they were doing, whatever they bought is no longer relevant. So it's a good move, and I think that's going to be. I think it's going to start changing things on how we approach things. I think if he can get it set up so that we can even do our final dates and that stuff, so we can do pre-need final dates, I think that would be great.
Yes. Yeah, so, that would solve a problem long term down the road, because I know you get it the same way I do, that somebody comes in and they bought a headstone from you X numbers of years ago and they say we need the date added, and well, Mama paid for everything. Well, Mama's wrong again,
Your mama ever lie to you? She did there.
Right. Because in all honesty, people would rather be able to prepay for that. So whenever the time comes, that it's just something that just gets to happen and they don't have to have any more financial input into it.
Well, and here's the other thing too, right, is that coin is going to increase in value, right? Or whatever the trust is or whatever. So let's say it's backed by cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency sticks around. I think as a trust, it's going to have to move and shift or whatever. But if you've got like a NFC, like what they call it, NFT, the non-fungible tokens, and that token backs that final date or whatever, and so that's how they pay for it, is one token pays for the final date, but they paid, pick a number, I don't care, we're $350 on a final date here, and so if they bought that NFT at $350 and it's 20 years down the road, and now that NFT has a cured value, and you still take that one token to pay for the date, but now it's worth $20,000. You're gonna do a final date at $20,000? Don't tell me the answer to that's no. I mean, I think I'm
that's right, because you're in it to serve the family.
Hey, that was the other question that was on line not that long ago. Is this about serving families, or is this about making money?
Yeah, that one you're going to get quite a varying view of responses, and some of them, I think some of them are just kind of white knighting a little bit. And I'm not saying that I'm in business just for the money, but of course I started a business as a route to make money. And the byproduct of that is that I get to serve the families that put their trust in me. But yes, I'm in this to make money. Because I don't see
any reason why that can't be both.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that you can't. Two things can be true at the same time, right? And it's I can both be doing this to make money and serve families. And I've kind of argued that if you're serving the families correctly, the money chases it pretty quickly.
Yes.
And the magic thing is if you're serving the money with the focus on that, then magically that money dries up rather quick because the families disappear. So,
yes.
and it doesn't necessarily mean, the argument's always going to be, well, that means it's got to be you got to be the cheapest guy. No, it doesn't mean that. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. And sometimes it means being the highest quality, because my customers don't want the, cheap things that I see every once in a while in some of these rural cemeteries. So I sent Nate, I sent Austin a video. Was this a week or so ago? I'd sent that to you about the markers in the cemetery that I came across.
Oh, the online markers.
Yes.
3 markers for one person.
So it was, yes. And it was the same company that we talked about before online where it was sent, and it's been sent to a guy here and it broke, and then they were trying to just have us glue it together, all that and the other. Well, there was 3 of them. Each one of them different spelling or mistake or whatever, all barely blasted in. And the family took them and used the 2 wrong ones as a base for the right one.
All right. Hey, you know what? You got to use what you have.
Hey, I thought it was rather creative. I mean, good job on the ingenuity.
Yeah.
So they got 3 times the value out of that one.
Yeah, they did.
But
speaking of the onlines, I had a family in at lunch today that they bought a really neat headstone from me. It's in the shape of a musical instrument, and I don't want to put too much out there because some people, they kind of frown on making headstones that look like musical instruments. And yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Do you have a negative space design of a tuba?
No, it's not a negative space. It's actually cut out of it. But they talked about how in the lead up to them deciding where to purchase a headstone from, they asked me, they said, "Did you know you can buy a headstone on Amazon?" I said, I'm aware of that. And she pulled it up on her phone and she said, "This one's only $95. It was hollow."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I shared that.
But see, her seeing those, and of course she read the description and understood what it was. That scared her from wanting to do business with an online company because she was afraid that she was going to get an inferior product. So that's what prompted her to come to see me.
There is in the cemetery back here, Austin, I've taken you to, that has that cantilevered piece.
Yep.
About 40 feet from it is a monument that somebody glued together out of Lexan. Water jet off of Lexan, off of a machine, and glued it together and just stuck it out there. And I don't mean like, oh, it's like 6. I mean, it's like I've used sheets of plywood thicker. So it's all that stuff. But okay, Nate, I don't know how well that stuff would last in the expansion contraction of your weather up there, but all I need is the sun. The sun will destroy this stuff in a year.
Yes.
Yep. No, we don't. We may not get the intense sun, but I mean, that stuff is just it's just not meant to be outside forever. I think that's one of the things that we all, we take a lot of pride in, the fact that what we install, we know is going to look the same for a really, really long time.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Of course, I would rather have the conversations about quality, what is good work and what is bad work, and as to whether or not it has litho in it. I can be on that conversation all day long and still appreciate both sides. I can't be on a conversation where we're going, oh yeah, we've now laminated countertop material together.
I was just about to bring up Mexico.
Yeah, to make a monument and stick it out there, and whether it's here where we know the epoxy is going to deteriorate and fall apart, or up there where it's going to do the same thing, but it has more to do because of the expansion and contraction of cold weather and warm weather. Because warm weather up there is still not cold. I mean, it's not rough. You're still getting 80s, 90s. So I said when, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, that somebody had bought online, and when it showed up to and since then we don't really do anything that people buy online anymore. But this one we did install, and it was a 3-foot black monument. Came in, it was lettered backwards,
and it
The
had
screen was like mirrored of what it should have been. Like the
Yeah.
lettering was literally backwards.
No. It was just the grade positions were wrong. It wasn't that bad.
So much better the other way.
But yeah, you're right. But the scene, I mean, it was a black monument with what I believe they probably paid for as an etching, and it was just airbrushed.
Oh,
Just airbrush. Yeah, I mean, since then it is gone. It's just like a little black monument over there with names on it now. But yeah, completely gone. Just
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And it wasn't even that nice of an airbrush. I mean, I probably could have gone down the mall and found somebody who does T-shirts and would have done it.
I mean, we've seen vinyl wraps on concrete. They'll pour concrete and do the vinyl wrap on concrete, but I've seen it on like whether it's countertop material or they're buying gray ledgers, from wherever and 3 inches thick and wrapping them that way. But it's full scene, color, and you go like, man, I give it a year, and I'm being nice. I really think 6 months. Mower's going over the top of it's going to destroy it.
Oh, so, just whenever I first got started and I saw my first color etching, I thought that was awesome. I thought that was going to be the way to go. I sold one, and I'll never do another.
Yeah. Now, I had a family that, we did it was a monument we did and did some deep cut roses and, it was a hand-drawn design and stuff. And they, as we finished it, they came and said, we want those roses red, the stems green, and the leaves like a darker green. And I'm sitting there going, no, you don't want that. There's no way. I said, it's, we could, it's going to fade over time. It's not going to last that long. Cause I mean, you're talking about painting into like a deeper carving. And no. So we ended up doing it, charging for it and everything. And I told him, there's just no way this is going to last more than like 5 years. Well, it's been like 20 years. And every time I drive past the cemetery, the thing looks exactly the same as when we said it. So, but I mean, it doesn't mean it looks good. It just, it's one of those things like you just never know. And I don't like the, like that.
You can specify Earth years, right? I mean,
that's true. Yeah. But that thing kind of just it haunts me every time I drive through that cemetery.
Oh gosh, but that I see enough of that stuff where I drive around and I'll see just trash work that in that same cemetery where the Lex fan there's somebody, but I get it. You didn't have a lot of money for a marker, and I'm not sympathetic. I'm not unsympathetic to that, right? It's I get it, and I have ways to help out. That's why we collect some of these damaged stones and things like that, because, man, I would rather sell you a good produced stone that I've cleaned up and fixed the damage to, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to sell it at full price at a massively discounted rate. But, down the way from the Lexan is one of those online markers from somethingmonument.com. And it's 2-inch material. Tiny little thing that's like 8x16 black sawn sides. And it is on, they glued it. So I don't know if the family did this part or if it came in this way, but it's glued to a precast foundation that is sitting right on top of the soil. I mean, I can stick my hand underneath the foundation because it just set it there. Just dropped it on the ground. And you're like, all right, that's no good. So these are all issues. But I did learn something on that same trip, though. In going to that cemetery, because it's a not-for-profit little civic center cemetery, they ran out of marking flags one day, and I just gave them a bundle of ours that say future site of a memorial by Watson Monument or something like that, so that they could have some stuff to mark with. And they marked out like this whole lot of like where they're fixing to do a burial. And I don't think there's a monument because I think they just marked off the lot where they're fixing to do the burial. So I don't think, but all of them with my flags. And I'm like, man, that was a phenomenal move.
It's a good marketing move there. Yeah,
exactly. I did the same thing with I did the same thing with a local town around here, their cemetery, and they just made a comment to me one day that they didn't have any marker flags to mark off, and so I gave them a bundle of mine. The next time I was in the cemetery, they were getting ready to do work on water lines, and it's my flags marking off all the water lines now.
No, it's great running into those little things that you figure out just by happenstance, you know. So that's good. But well, Christmas coming up. I don't know for y'all. Of course, Austin, you get irritated with me because we're closed from right now, December 19th until the 5th, and I think you've decided you're working.
Yeah,
next
why
week,
not?
right?
Something.
You ain't doing nothing. You're not going to sell anything. But Nate, I don't know what y'all are. What are y'all doing? Y'all close for Christmas, or what do y'all do?
Yeah, so we'll have our company Christmas party on Tuesday at lunchtime, and then we'll close for the rest of the week. So we're closed Christmas Eve, Christmas, and then the day after. But then we reopen on Monday, and then we have the New Year's Day off, but we'll work Friday. So
yeah,
we still got there's
like
too
some
much
really
to do
good
to
hours.
stop.
Well, for them, they're trying to get as much stuff out as they can before they can't. So
Yeah.
I understand that. You don't have that excuse. You can install on January 6th. So it's probably
we
more
a date that we don't know where it is. You know?
Yeah, it's like this. It's like trying to. You've seen those videos of people blindfolded sitting under a fan with a water bottle tied to it or something like that. It's the same kind of thing.
There are days that feel like that too. You know.
You getting ready to go set, and then it starts snowing. You didn't know that wasn't on the forecast.
Yep, that happened last week.
Oh, jeez. No. This is why I live in the South. I can't.
That's it.
I can't do the cold. Dan Dro is the one who was pulling that monument out of the frozen tundra up there in upstate New York, and so when he's sending me texts about it, I said, "Better you than me." I said, I will take the heat all day long. Mm-hmm. But I'm just sitting there thinking about having to put a line to rig up that monument through that frozen ground behind that stone. I'm going, it's going to take me 3 hours just to get that thing through because I'm going to have to pull my hand out and let it sit for 20 minutes. like, no, I can't feel my fingers, guys. It's isn't working.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
No, not me. But no, so yeah, we're closing up, and we're gonna give everybody a chance to be off, and we'll go do Christmas and everything like that with their families. And one of my guys is headed to Georgia. I guess he does security for the university as well, so he's doing the playoff game Saturday, and then immediately turning around and leaving to go to Georgia for his family Christmas and all that. But so it'll be good. We've got a lot of stuff going on around here, and I'm going to stick in my house so that I don't have to deal with the people. So
good plan. Good plan. Yeah, put your feet up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be a busy weekend. We've got playoff game tomorrow, so there's they're estimating around 200,000 people coming in just for the game. Plus, there's a wrestling tournament down the street that my son's in, which is why we're not going to the game. And there's 1,600 registered wrestlers for that particular event. And if they thought about getting a room to stay overnight for this wrestling event, because of the football game, the room rate is $2,300 a night.
So are you staying 1 or 2 nights?
Yeah. Well, I actually thought about your house and my house on VRBO. I was thinking I could make some money for that. That'd be great. But and then follow that with Sunday. The girls volleyball team at A&M is playing the national championship game there. So it's a busy weekend around here.
Busy weekend. Yeah.
Once we get through this weekend, though, the students are gone, and it will be quiet for about a month. So
yep,
it's that's why you live in college towns.
Yep.
But other than that, no, guys, I think it'd be good. I'm excited to get up there to Baltimore, see y'all, and hang out and have a good time. Do all the monument stuff up there. Of course, we've got we follow that convention with Austin. You and I are going to be at the Southern Monument Builders Convention there in Fort Worth. There's somebody else going to be there. I'm not really sure who it is, but it is the Southern Monument Builders Convention, and I don't care what they say.
It's the first time we've ever decided to try it in February. Yeah,
it's
something new.
Yeah. So that one will be cool. It'll be a tabletop deal, a little quick one or whatever. But come check that out if you're in the area. And the great news is if you want to come to that one, the best way to register is to join Southern first and be a member of Southern, because you'll get a much better rate at that point. So it'll save you. I did the math. What did I say? Like $250 per registered individual.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So
that's why we don't have members. We just give everybody the best deal possible, right?
Yeah, I'm actually, when you said that, I'm going, we got to look into this. So I'm over here like using our Facebook page, trying to like every freaking monument company in the state of Texas through our regional association, just trying to get people to see that we exist. So
yeah, I think our we just sent out a postcard mailer as like our last, like, here you go to everybody. And we pull from like historical data, right? People that have attended the shows. I mean, there's probably a few of these companies that either don't exist anymore or consolidated with other ones and stuff. But I think it was close to 1,400 mailers. So that's a lot of different monument companies.
Yeah, and that's what is that typically Pennsylvania, Virginia.
So as we collect, as people attend from other areas, they we keep their information to send them when we do the registration. But the original organization basically was Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Washington D.C., Maryland, and then West Virginia and Virginia. So that's like our core group of states, obviously with the Mid-Atlantic kind of thing. But since without the membership, we just seem to pull a lot of people from New York and New England. Talking with the guys or Lori down at the Carolinas has really been great working with to try to get some people coming up from Carolinas too, and
there's some over 8 people in Carolinas. Like there's this guy named Joey Timms or something like that. He's all right. So is Jim Peterson normally attend there?
I don't know the answer to that.
He's in New Jersey somewhere. Great guy, AICA guy. Man, just super. Like I would say he's kind of the Yankee version of Perry Giles. He's very dry with it, but man, when it comes to knowledge on the industry and the history of the industry and where things are and all, I mean, just an encyclopedia of knowledge of that kind of stuff. And so just super cool guy. I've enjoyed spending time with him. I don't know if he's enjoyed spending time with me, but I've enjoyed spending time with him. But
Tony thinks everybody likes being around him.
No, I have this usual mantra of I can't figure out why people want to be around, other than I figure that they're just waiting for the mistake to happen. That's probably the more realistic is, when is he going to screw this one up? Because if I'm going to screw it up, I'm going to screw it up in epic fashion. It's going to burn the whole thing down. So if you're going to do it in style.
Exactly.
So, but, all right. On that note, all right, guys. Merry Christmas to y'all.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, and we'll get to see you in Baltimore in a few weeks.
Yep, 26 days. Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yep. Pack your shorts, your swim trunks.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Flip-flops. Yeah, you're ready to go.
All right.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right. Bye.
Have a good one.